Good afternoon. Welcome to Joy News Today. My name is Ejisu By-Election. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokunk, Mlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, more than 80,000 voters, 6 candidates. The race to replace the Ejisu MP John Kuma reaches final stretch today as the Electoral Commission opens polls for that by-election.
That's all I say. NPP for Baby Riabanum. About a tomato, NPP.
I'm not a traitor. When I lost the primaries, did I go independent? I did not.
We're live in Ejisu as a political historian cautions the NPP's refusal to learn from their past mistakes will hurt the party if independent candidate Kwabena Aduomi emerges winner.
The truth of the matter is that Kwabena Aduomi wins the election. Then it tells you that the NPP has a lot of work to do in the next 7 months before the general election. And remember, it looked like NPP as a political party, sometimes they don't learn.
Work together and share intelligence to deal with threats of maritime terrorism, piracy. Words of President Prof Arthur as naval chiefs and other top maritime security experts gather for a 3-day summit here in Accra. Plus, on our Filth exhibition series today, we'll take you to Jamestown, where plastic waste is depleting fish stock and threatening livelihood of fisher folks.
The plastics are destroying the livestock in the sea. We're not getting fish. We try hard to get it, but it is increasingly becoming difficult.
My name is Ejisu By-Election. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Aisha. Please do stay for details. Political historian Professor Ejisu By-Election says the NPP's refusal to learn from their past mistakes will hurt the party in the event that independent candidate Kwabena Aduomi emerges winner in the Ejisu By-Election. 6 candidates are this afternoon vying to represent the people of Ejisu constituency of the Ashanti region to replace the deceased MP John Kuma. The seat is traditionally NPP, with the governing party's candidate Kwabena Boateng tipped to win, but he's facing stiff competition from a former party member who resigned to contest as an independent candidate. The opposition NDC did not file a candidate. The Liberal Party of Ghana, Convention People's Party, and 2 other independent candidates are all in the race to Parliament. My colleague Nanaya Ojima observed their final campaigns and now reports.
Bigwigs of the NPP, including President Akufo-Addo and his vice, Dr. Bawumia, were present in the final rally of the party ahead of the by-election. The president mounted the campaign platform with some jabs for the former MP who is attempting a comeback as an independent candidate.
So to cabinet minister, our MP.
You unseated a cabinet minister at Ejisu and found nothing wrong with that. But today, you are everywhere talking. Late Sunday night, the independent candidate was on the grounds to wrap up his campaign. Kwabena Aduomi severed ties with the NPP after a declaration to run as an independent candidate in the upcoming by-election. Mr. Aduomi claims the NPP lacks leadership, dismissing allegations of being a traitor.
I don't want to say anything bad against the president. He is the president of Ghana. I'm not a traitor. When I lost the primaries, did I go independent? I did not. I took it in faith. But when there is an issue that is contrary to the guidelines and regulations of the NPP party, and people raise concern. If they are good leaders, they should have solved it. If they are saying that I'm a traitor, even while I'm outside, the projects that I and Kofi Job we are doing, they all favor NPP. Adam is not a traitor. They should learn to be good leaders and solve problems that are in the party so that the party can stand up. I'm telling you, NPP has no spirit in Ejisu constituency and even in Ashanti region.
In response to the tag of being pushed by the NDC, Mr. Osu Adiomi wants the president to show evidence for the reason. He explains his candidature appeals to NDC supporters in the constituency due to his track record.
If the NDC man, if the president is saying NDC man, he has to prove I am not an NDC man because NDC people, they like me. All the works that I did, they are all benefiting. Where have they seen me wearing NDC colors? It's because I said I'm going independent. That's why. The people here who are NDC, they want to vote for Adiomi because Adiomi did projects that benefited them. Now, let me answer what he said I did it for them. Yes. Even when NDC was in power, I worked for my people. There are some 4 roads that I requested for from NDC government that was given me. 4 major roads. I did it in NDC time. So all the projects that I did, I love it and I had it. Having said that, I used my own pocket money. But who is government? Government is all of us. The roads were not done by the president's pocket money. It wasn't by the vice president's pocket money. It wasn't by any of them pocket money. It is the revenue, it is the sources, it's the funds of the state that were used to do it. What is important is that if you are an MP, you lobby for projects for your people.
Earlier, some supporters of Kwabena Osu Adiomi hit the streets of Ejisu to campaign. Six candidates are going into the race slated for Tuesday, but the NPP's Kwabena Boateng and independent candidates Kwabena Osu Adiomi are in lead to represent the Ejisu constituency in Parliament. For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Ejisu.
Well, political historian and dean of the Faculty of Applied Sciences and Mathematics Education at the Apiaminka University, Professor Ejisu Arthur says the NPP must always take a position that will help it win independent candidates, especially those that defect from their party on their side.
The truth of the matter is that Kwabena Osu Adiomi wins the election. Then it tells you that the NPP has a lot of work to do in the next 7 months before the general election. And remember, it looks like NPP as a political party, sometimes they don't learn. You remember during the Fomena last campaign that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo had before the election. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo stated that he cannot work with an independent candidate. Unfortunately for them, as a political party, the independent candidate became the stone that the NPP rejected, and it became the cornerstone of the NPP now, that gained them the majority. So I thought that the NPP as a political party would have learned from the misfortune of their candidate at Fomena that merely if the independent has switched come to the NDC, then the NDC would have had the majority in Parliament. So when Kwabena Osu Adiomi, as an independent candidate, a party person that through some misunderstanding decided to go independent, I think they should have taken it kindly with him because he could win the election as well. Just as Fomena independent candidate won the election. And unfortunately, as we speak, the former candidate is the MP is now saving the NPP. So if the NPP loses this Ejisu by-election, I can tell you that it is an indication NPP will lose terribly in the Ashanti region or in Ghana as far as this 2024 election upcoming is concerned.
Meanwhile, the Global Info Analytics has been predicting a lead for the NPP. Listen to its executive director, Musa Dankwa.
Picks intelligence from the ground that is going to be very close. Our poll doesn't suggest a winner. It suggests a leader.
Okay.
Because the margin that Kwabena Boateng has over Eduemi is 3.1%. And the margin of error for the poll is 3.4%.
Okay.
Which means that anybody can win this election. Now, if you look at why Eduemi is doing very well, it's because of ground coalition that backs him at the moment in Ejisu. You see he's getting nearly 2/3 of floating voters.
Yeah.
He's getting over 92% of NDC supporters. He's getting 95% of smaller parties. And he's getting close to 60% of people who did not disclose their party affiliation to us. And he's getting 36% of NPP support. So that is the reason why he's looking very competitive. Now, indeed, according to our model, if he's able to attract 40% of NPP support tomorrow, he could win.
Let's cross over to Ejisu now and get some updates. Nana Ohiminteria has been telling us more from that constituency.
Generally, the election has been peaceful. There hasn't been any incident recorded as far as this by-election is concerned. In terms of security, I will say each polling station has at least 6 police officers manning the polling stations, and then beyond these 6 officers, the police administration has also put together a rapid deployment team for each of the 28 electoral areas within the Ejisu constituency. Here is at the Fumeswa Pentecost polling center. And I will say that it is one of the few places that I came to meet electors in queue waiting for their turn to cast their ballot. A while ago, I engaged the Director of Elections for Electoral Commission, Dr. Sribo Kweku, who said they expect at least not less than 50% of the electors casting their ballot. So for voter turnout, they expect over 50% here in Ejisu. But here, I'll say that it's one of the few places that you see people in queue casting their ballot. Let me try and speak to some of these electors who have just finished casting their ballot. Now, what to say? No, Midday, sister, why Japanese or near Casa? We Joy News TV. And what do you say?
Well, 65.
65 years. Now, at DNT, and I say, so Ukraine is about 12 and nano pay.
And your baby, your Pesema, every school, your Peso Munya Jumaye, and Untina, your Betua said, your Bay, Mabinia Jumaye.
So this is a 65-year-old woman. She says she's motivated by the fact that she wants the unemployed teeming youth in this community to get employed.
Well, the New Patriotic Party's parliamentary candidate for the Ejisu By-Election, Kwabena has cautioned voters to reject the independent candidate and former MP for Ejisu, Kwabena in the ongoing by-elections. According to him, his party has shown commitment over the years to develop the constituency and must be rewarded with victory in the by-election. He's been speaking to Nana Boakye Adam.
Lawyer, you're not coming to inspect the polls. Where have you been so far and how has it been?
I've been around. It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. People have voted. We are still expecting the rest to do that. As I walk around, I also try to ask people if they have voted. If they haven't, I give them the advice to exercise that mandate because it's necessary. It's a constitutional obligation. So it shouldn't be taken for granted. But the people will vote. Yes. I'm sure some are traveling from elsewhere. So by noon, late noon, I'm sure a lot of them would have casted their votes.
But you bear with me that the numbers are not encouraging at the moment.
I haven't been to all places. For some places, yes, I'm told the turnout not so good, but for other places it's fine. Looking at the time now, and then typically of by-elections, we do not expect as much people as general elections. That is what at least experience has taught us.
But then looking at the people who have come out to vote so far, does it look positive for you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
People are saying that the more people do not feel like coming out, it goes against your party and you yourself.
Well, I cannot tell the indices that goes into that, or maybe how that calculation is done. But what I can say is that I've been on the streets. I see the smiles on the faces of people. Those who have not voted, they are eager to do that. And the rest will also vote, typical of Ghanaians. Sometimes we would like to put one or two things in place in the house before we go to cast our ballot. But at the end of the day, they will vote. And then they will vote in my favor.
What makes you so sure that you're going to win this election against Kwabena Osu-Aduonum, former member of parliament for the area?
Conspicuous. It's trite. The people know what the NPP government has been able to do. Even in hard times, what we've been able to discharge. I don't know if you've gone down this road from Ejisu sector here all the way to Kontase. Kofi Job is doing, marvelous work. I don't know if you've gone the Abankro road and a host of, I don't know if you've gone to Bonre and the town roads and, we are working.
I've been to all these places, especially today, doing my monitoring, but people are saying that you're doing all this work because it is the by-election and you're scared of your candidate, your opponent, It
started long ago. If you see what Kofi Job has done, it couldn't have been done in less than 1 month. So if you go there, I'm sure with, some basic explanation from the people there, in fact, from prima facie, you would know that this is not something that could have been done less than a month. The president has few months to go, and he is minded to spread development across, including roads. So even in these hard times, we are constructing roads, and Ejisu is one of the beneficiaries. And that is the more reason why Ejisu should take an NPP candidate to parliament. The Ashantis will tell you,
Nana Ojima is on the ground for us. He joins us via Zoom with more. Nana Ojima, what's the latest at the polling station where you are?
And this is one of the strongholds of Kwabena Osu-Aduonum. It is actually his hometown, and it's just as expected. A lot of the people within this area are for his candidature. Now, not long ago, the people here almost doubled up. If my cameraman would pan, you can see that there are still some people who are still here and they wouldn't want to go home because according to them, they've heard that the NPP is going around buying votes. So this is the allegation that is within the area. And the the information that, according to them, they have is that it's likely that these men will come here, the stronghold of Kwabena Osu-Ediomi, to perpetrate that illegality. So it is one of the things that they are trying to avoid. That is why you see their numbers here at the polling station. And this is replicated in other polling stations.
Nana Ojima is on Zoom. We lost him there, but he's trying to paint a picture that there seem to be some allegations of vote buying, and he says that if care is not taken, there could be some confusion coming from the camp of Kwabena Osu-Ediomi. All right, so he's back. Nana Ojima.
Exactly. So as I was saying, wherever you see some people, non-NPP people, gathering, these men who are in support of Kwabena Osu-Ediomi's candidature will go there, neutralize the numbers, and according to them, ensure that the New Patriotic Party will not perpetrate such illegally.
So definitely where to stay for all that you need to know from Ejisu is on your election headquarters. At 2 p.m. we'll bring you election brief. We'll bring you more updates from the Ejisu by-elections. Let's get on to other stories, because Professor of Political Science at the University of Ghana, Ransford Jampo, says the government must eat its humble pie and ask for support to save the free SHS program. Speaking at an event to award scholarships to more than 30 students by Relief and Aid International, a former ambassador, Dr. Nyao Tamaklo, also waded into the controversy on the award of scholarships, insisting there's a lack of integrity if rich people are getting scholarships meant for the needy. There's more in this report.
Relief and Aid International is headed by philanthropist Pegina Aikaili Adamafio and has been awarding scholarships to needy but brilliant students for almost half a decade now. Over the weekend, the organization Relief and Aid supported more than a dozen students. Speaking at this event, Professor Ransford Jampo warned that if government did not seek support for the free senior high school program, quality education could be compromised.
And I think that government must be humble enough in identifying people like Madam Adamafio and encouraging them to offer assistance to brilliant but needy students so that the burdens of government will be lightened. Government is trying to provide free education to everybody, free SHS to everybody. But it knows it hasn't got the resources to do it. But because we have promised that we'll do it at all costs. Whether we can't do it or we can do it, we'll still do it. That does not promote quality education.
Meanwhile, Dr. Nyao Tamaklo waded into the scholarship scandal, decrying the lack of integrity in society when scholarships meant for the needy are taken over by the rich.
Normally, scholarships are meant for the needy. I went to university with scholarship. I went to secondary school with scholarship. I schooled with scholarship. But now, scholarships meant for the needy are given to those who have rather got it. It tells you integrity is at its lowest level in Ghana at the moment. Now, if we have a lady of a build and stature who is doing such a tremendous work, all we have to do is to thank her.
For her part, the benefactor of these students, Madam Pegina Aikaili Adamafio, promised to support the students. She has granted scholarships up to the doctoral level.
Being the president of Relief and Aid Foundation, I feel like this is the time we need to support the needed. And I took it upon myself to help out the needy, our orphans, the aged. So I've been doing this for some time now. And it got to a point that we started with 3 students. And as of today, we have about 31 students. And I'm thrilled. I feel happy about it. And I pray that you all will support me in your prayers, so that as long as I'm medical and I'm alive, I promise to take care of them up to their master's, or to their doctoral or PhD level.
These scholarships are expected to go a long way to assist many of these students who come from very challenged backgrounds to have a very fair shot at education, just like their colleagues who come from very well-to-do families.
The National Petroleum Authority has assured users of liquefied petroleum gas in the Upper East region that the new cylinder recirculation model will not be a disadvantage of the ordinary Ghanaian. At a forum in Bolgatanga to educate the public about the cylinder recirculation model, the head for gas in charge of commercial regulation at the NPA, Obed Boache, said the needs of various classes of customers have been catered for under the model, and there should be no challenges when the program is rolled out in the region.
The National Petroleum Authority, NPA, organized the forum here in Bolgatanga in the Upper East region to educate the public on the cylinder recirculation model, which began in Accra last September. Under the cylinder recirculation model, consumers of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, will not need to have gas cylinders to purchase LPG for their homes or businesses. The NPA will set up what it calls bottling plants, where various sizes of cylinders will be filled with LPG, so customers can always pay and pick up the cylinder of gas they need and return it to the plant when they need a refill. But first, they will need to register using their national identification cards. The cylinder recirculation model aims to ensure that at least 50% of Ghanaians have access to safe, clean and environmentally friendly LPG by the year 2030. It will also help mitigate the risks associated with the use of the inflammable commodity, which sometimes results in fire accidents. Bashiru Natogma is the Upper East Regional Manager of the NPA.
The exercise is a nationwide exercise. Upper East is also part of the exercise, and so far we have started the process. A lot of oil marketing companies and LPG companies have started putting application for exchange points. And exchange points is not limited to only a group of people. Any individual can apply through an oil marketing company or LPG marketing company.
The cylinder recirculation model is yet to be rolled out in the Upper East region. Some users of LPG in the region who were at the stakeholders forum expressed concerns that the program could be to the disadvantage of the ordinary Ghanaian, as they may not be able to purchase the small quantities of LPG they can afford. But the head for gas in charge of commercial regulation at the NPA, Obed Boache, said this was a general concern from customers that has been catered for in the planning process, and therefore the public should rest assured that everyone's needs will be met.
The reason why you take 14.5 kg and buy half is that 14.5 kg is the only size you have. So that is what you use to buy the quantity you want. Under the CRM, we have different sizes of cylinders and even different brands, okay? And so the most common cylinders you find on our market, the sizes, are the 6 kg ones and then the 14.5 or 15 kg ones. But we are going to introduce the 3 kg, which is a bit smaller and also, a bit less in cost. And then with the CRM, you will not be tied to a cylinder. Remember now, the bottling plant owns the cylinder. So they bring the cylinder. What you have to do is you pay for the gas, you take the cylinder, you go and use the gas. When it's done, you bring it, you pay for gas, and you pick another one. Now, let's say when we started, you went in, you registered, and you took a 14.5 kg. But this month, you feel your pocket is not strong enough. So you want to buy 6 kg or 3 kg. You are not tied to that 14.5 kg anymore. So far as we return the 14.5 kg, you can tell your dealer today, I want to buy 3 kg, and he'll give you a 3 kg cylinder. In Accra, in other places, in Doma, in other places, they've started placing some of the cages, and I'm sure you begin to see some soon here in Upper East region as well. When you see these cages as consumers, we encourage you to take your old cylinders to these cages or these locations and then get registered and exchange them for a branded cylinder.
President Akufo-Addo is urging naval chiefs and other top maritime security experts to work together and share intelligence that will help clamp down on terrorism, piracy, kidnapping and other threats. Speaking at the African Maritime Forces Summit and Naval Infantry Leaders Symposium at the Kempinski Hotel here in Accra, he said through collaborations, threats such as piracy and armed robbery at sea have been sufficiently suppressed.
Today, piracy and armed robbery at sea, which are the most visible symptoms of insecurity in the Gulf of Guinea, have as a result of the coordination of efforts of the Nigerian, Ghanaian and other navies been appreciably suppressed, but still remain important threats to national and regional maritime activities. Aside these major threats, there are increasing numbers of other incidents occurring in the territorial and international waters across the entire African continent. Illegal oil bunkering, kidnapping at sea for ransom, illegal fishing, terrorism, and drug trafficking are common threats across our territorial waters. These transnational crimes do not only threaten national and regional peace and security, but they also come at a great cost to the economies of both coastal and non-coastal states. In the face of these challenges, it is imperative that we foster greater cooperation and collaboration amongst African maritime forces. By working together, sharing intelligence, and coordinating our efforts, we can address effectively maritime security threats.
And on our Filth exhibition today in the Jamestown community, the nets of fishermen are catching plastic waste instead of fish, a distressing situation in the once thriving fishing community. Years of plastic deposit from various collective points has turned the sea into a dumping ground, depleting marine life and devastating the livelihoods of fishermen. Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson has more in today's Filth exhibition.
When
we go fishing, we hardly get fish, only rubber.
Ni Ajiman, a seasoned fisherman, stands on the Jamestown shore and happy as he examines his measurable catch. His nets, again, filled with plastic waste.
I
think it is the use of rubber that has destroyed our environment. It isn't good for us.
Jamestown, once a thriving fishing community, is now a landing site of plastic filth and waste clothes. The 55-year-old has fished here for more than 17 years. He fears the state of the sea is not only threatening their livelihood, but depleting the sea of livestock.
The plastics are destroying the livestock in the sea. We're not getting fish. We try hard to get it, but it is increasingly becoming difficult.
Speaking in despair, Ajiman is sad the waste has destroyed the seafront and the coastline as well.
wa ejongo be ne ke ni ne bu ahye mi dey ya show me more be na lo e be I look and ba be ya oda boni jon ya shunu mi no so.
Our nets are no longer catching fish. It is worrying us.
Ona obu na wo jeme. Ona ka obu na o me ko me lo jo wole na me jo gonu gbe na me ba na ma mba lo. Ama me ka me sa ma me force aka ba nya me lo you na fe bi elu. Ona ni.
Fishmongers are equally worried about the situation. The development is destroying their trade. Dede comes to the shore in hopes of getting her pan filled with fish. But after hours of anticipation, she is disappointed.
All about muawa. Ni wata mi woni kejele bi ka wo ba bi ene by this time washing where.
The beach is unclean. The sea is filled with debris from other areas, especially the Kole Lagoon, and the sea carries it here.
We're still live on Joy News today. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more.
Welcome. Let's do some business stories with me, Emma Davis. Farmers in the Mansia West and South districts whose farmlands were adversely impacted by Asanko gold mine are assessing support to bolster their productivity. Reduced farm sizes, limited access to agricultural supplies, and financial limitations caused low output of the farmers. There's more in this report.
In Ghana, agriculture accounts for approximately 21% of the gross domestic product. Residents of the Amanse West and South districts are mainly farmers, predominantly into cocoa production, which is a major contributor to Ghana's economy. The inception of the Asanko gold mine operations within the districts extended vast catchments, compelling farmers to legally lease their farmlands. Despite the promising opportunities in the agriculture sector, farmers encounter numerous challenges in accessing funds and quality farm inputs to improve their farm activities.
Mandi ni aje hopa wa hano yoko bi na agina mfidie na tile sedi ekoko no kejuma no ne hwase mo de na mayen concept se muto bregu fu su sei yenya bi ne de gu fu so ntia senko fu aso asene edu ya bere ne a eyi ni so ne sere government se mo de mo wayen for how since drew NPP so bi a na yesika sam no ya na kofom since sabi ebi na wukuta ankwala be se num na sensia na wukote be bag be na ya to school so until almost so yesterday them before say then so you come back here kakra.
Asanko Gold Mine has launched the Asanko Agro Inputs Support Scheme to assist cocoa farmers in its catchment communities. The support comes in form of supply of inputs including pruners, motorized sprayers, Wellington boots and cutlasses. The manager for the environment and sustainability of Asanko Gold Mine, Dr. Daniel Osei Chumesi, spoke on behalf of the General Manager Ahmed Muhadini Yahaya. He indicated the intervention forms part of Asanko's opportunity cycle, a CSR framework that directs community investment initiatives.
One of the main priorities is to elevate the living standards of individuals in our catchment communities. By providing these resources, we aim to address some of the key challenges faced by our farmers, including access to quality tools, affordability, and the need for modernization. We believe that investing in agriculture is not only an investment in the prosperity of our communities, but also a step towards achieving food security and economic empowerment for the country as a whole.
District Chief Executive for Amansia South District, Oscar Asari, admonished farmers not to trade the modernized farming equipment.
Some experts have emphasized the importance of humans leveraging their distinct attributes such as intuition, reasoning, and memory to maintain relevance in the evolving landscape of artificial intelligence. They argue that by enhancing these skills, individuals can unlock their full potential and thrive in a world where both humans and machines coexist. There's more in this report by Mahmoud Nuruddin.
At the 11th Digital Rights and Inclusion Forum in Accra, a fireside dialogue hosted by the Public and Private Development Center (PPDC) facilitated discussions among speakers from Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, and Kenya. While there are concerns regarding AI potentially replacing human labor, speakers at the forum agreed that it presents an opportunity for humans to focus on higher level thinking, reasoning, and professional pursuits.
So the same applies to AI. It's a tool. If we build it right, it will serve us a good purpose. If we build it wrongly, it serves a bad purpose. So I don't think that issue with responsibility with AI had to do with the technology itself.
President of IoT Network Hub Africa, Joshua Bokwajimai, emphasizes the importance of humans tapping into their imagination, intuitions, and reasoning abilities which machines lack to maintain a competitive edge over AI tools.
I think this future we are looking at is created by human, and it was created through our imagination. And I think the more we can be human, the more we have a role to play in the future. What I mean by being human is that there are some qualities of us. We have imagination. Machines don't have that, and they will never have imagination. So it's a tool we have to start exercising it. We have intuition. Machines will never have intuition, no matter how intelligent they get. These are innate of what makes it human. We have reasoning. They might be able to crunch numbers and data. It doesn't mean they are thinking. So they will not be able to reason because they don't have that ability in them yet. We have memory capacity to collect data with our senses, our eyes, our ears. If we can develop this innate ability of ours, we're always going to be better than machine.
Joshua further says that humans possess the capacity to envision and construct a better world, a capability that enables them to create AI tools and ensures their enduring relevance in the world.
We also have perception. The way we change or we see things, our perception needs to be developed. And finally, we have a willpower. If we realize machines are going to take over us, we have the power to imagine a better world and build it, because that's what.
So for business, I am Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports. Please stay.
Good afternoon. Time now to bring you sports on Joy News today with me, Muftao Nabila Abdullah. Captain of Ghana's senior national team, Andrew Ayew, says that they are sorry for the poor performances of the Black Stars in recent years. According to him, the senior national team chalked success within 10 or 12 years, but the current form is just one that he believes will come to an end pretty soon. There's more in this conversation with GH1.
I think we need to stay calm. A lot of things has happened. There is not much to be said at the moment. For me, I've been in the team for a very long time, so we need to stay calm. We need to learn from what went right, what went wrong. Keep working very hard to make our nation very proud, because it is something very special. But we cannot hide behind the fact that the results lately has not been the best, and and we are sorry for that. But I know that it's part of the game, it's part of football. Football is like a cycle. You have moments. We were on top for about 10, 12 years, where now it's other people, but we need to keep working hard. I think we have the talent, we have the players. It's just a matter of time and a little bit of luck for things to just switch around.
Legendary Ghanaian boxer Azumah Nelson, he will return to the ring on May 4, 2 decades after his last exhibition fight. He will be coming up against European Union ambassador Richard Razili. He says he wants to fight to inspire the next generation of boxers.
So if they can work hard to get to pass through that hard work to get to the 2 minutes, and they will make it. And some people like us, we have a lot of experience that we can share our experience, and if you can take it, you will be there. Because like I said, I mean, nothing good comes easy. You know? You have to work for it.
Yeah.
You know? And if you can't work for it, you can achieve it. You know, so I want to tell them that, listen, I mean, there's time for everything. And then the Bible says in the Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1, that there's time for everything. You know, whatever you want to do. You know, these days, I don't know, peer pressure on these small boys and girls. You know, the friends, you know, like give you something to smoke, something to drink, something, you know, and destroy your character.
Right.
But I want them to know that anyone who comes, you know, and offer you something like that, that person is the devil for you.
Do you think that Ghana, we are capable of also producing a world champ?
A lot of world champions that we have in this country.
That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. We appreciate your time.
Time now to check out what's making headlines elsewhere. Zimbabweans will start using fresh banknotes and coins today as the country rolls out its third currency in a decade. The currency, of which a digital version was launched earlier this month, is the latest attempt to control soaring inflation in the country. But there are signs the Zimbabwean gold, or ZiG, is already facing problems. A digital version has lost a quarter of its value against the US dollar on the black market. The ZiG is backed by gold and foreign currency reserves to help maintain its value. The highest denomination of ZiG available is a 200 ZiG note, which is worth about $15. Individuals will be allowed to withdraw a maximum of 3,000 ZiG and companies 30,000 ZiG per week. That is it for World News. Up next is Showbiz.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline Ansama Iyabwa. Now, Indian movies, or if you like, the Bollywood, have become a symbol of cultural diplomacy around the world, capturing hearts of millions worldwide with its unparalleled cultural finesse, bridging cultural ties with rich storytelling. The Indian High Commissioner to Ghana believes such values are shared between Ghanaians and Indian alike.
India and Ghana have long shared some common cultural values, such as respect for the elderly, decency, and courtesy. This is what the Indian High Commissioner to Ghana, Manish Gupta-ji, wants to deepen. He was speaking at the celebration of the Ramanavami festival of the Bhojpuri Indian ethnic group in Tema. The celebration in Ghana, which attracted about 700 participants, was characterized by several cultural programs organized by the Indian community, as well as various dance groups ranging from the classical Indian dances to traditional Ghanaian rhythms.
Now, the 2024 West Africa Food Festival is heating up as the spotlight turns into a highly anticipated indigenous food competition. Ghana and 7 other nations this afternoon locked horns in a quest for culinary supremacy. The festival, which is currently underway in Togo, focuses on celebrating the diverse food traditions of West Africa. Ahead of the competition, watch the entrance of the Chefs Association of Ghana and other countries.
This is Ghana. Come and groom my children. This is come and groom my children. They are doing their own thing in a different way.
Well, we hope Ghana emerges victorious in this competition. That's all for the showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline Ansuma Yepwa.
Of course, what do you expect? The Ghana Jollof the bee.
I know, right?
Thank you for bringing us showbiz, and that'll be it for the bulletin. My name is Aiso. Log on to myjournline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. To enjoy the rest of our program.